Welcome to Ushendra's engineering tutorials. In this video, it's a damp sine function and its Laplace transform. So the question is, what's a damped sine function? When the sine function is multiplied with e raised to some exponential, a positive or negative exponential, such a resultant function is known as a damped sine function. For example, x of t, considering x of t equal to e raised to minus at sine omega t u of t. Now this function is a damped sine function because of the signal sine omega t is multiplied with e raised to minus at. The amplitude will be damping, and such a signal is known as a damped sine function. The waveforms will be shown when we deal some numericals regarding this one, and the whole signal when multiplied with u of t has some significance. U of t is a step signal, and when e raised to minus at sine omega t is multiplied with u of t, the resultant would be the signal e raised to minus at sine omega t would be restricted to x of t will be equal to e raised to minus at sine omega t for t greater than or equal to 0 and extends up to infinity. This is the significance of the signal multiplying with the step function u of t. Now the Laplace transform of a given function will be, so the question is, what is the Laplace transform of any given function? The given function Laplace transform of x of t, and the notation of Laplace transform capital X of s in its frequency domain, S domain, will be equal to the given function e raised to minus at sine omega t multiplied with e raised to minus st and integrated with respect to t from 0 to infinity. The limits of integration are decided by the step function which is multiplied previously. Substituting, and one more thing to be noted over here, this could be evaluated using the UV rule or chain rule of integration. That will be a tedious job. The simplification will be even more easier if the sine omega t would be represented in its Euler's identity. Substituting the sine function in the above equation with its Euler's identity, the equation takes the form as this one: x of s, the Laplace transform of x of t, it's a representation. This is the representation of sine function in its Euler's identity, e raised to j omega t minus e raised to minus j omega t upon 2j is the representation of the sine function in its Euler's identity, and this sine omega t as given in the previous equation is multiplied with e raised to minus at, and the Laplace transform of this one is nothing but multiplying the whole equation with e raised to minus st and integrating with respect to t, and the limits being 0 to infinity. It continues, x of s will be equal to, guys, there is a small simplification. Can you watch the existing equation? Nothing to do with the 2j in the integration, so it's taken out like this one. 1 upon 2j comes out because we don't need to integrate it, and the first two functions are multiplied. E raised to minus at into e raised to j omega t are multiplied like this, minus the second function. Even the second function, this and this is multiplied, and this exists, minus e raised to minus at into e raised to minus j omega t, and the whole function is multiplied with e raised to minus st. And guys, I didn't skip the integration. Here is the integration 0 to infinity with respect to t, and so we have dt. Still we have some more simplification over here, and going ahead, x of s will be nothing to do with the term 1 upon 2j. It's as it is, and taking out exponential and negative and t from these two terms. See, watch carefully. E is taken out as common, minus, and when negative is taken out as common from these two, a will be here and minus j omega from here, and t from both the terms common. And continuing going ahead, it's minus of the same way exponential from these two terms, negative is out, and we are left with a plus j omega and t as common from both the terms. The whole term is multiplied with e raised to minus st, and again it's integrated with respect to t, and the limits of integration being 0 to infinity. Hope you understand this one. Going ahead, still simplifying the above equation, it leads to x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j, nothing to do with that one. For the time being, it doesn't get cancelled or nothing manipulation with 1 upon 2j. This e raised to minus of a minus j omega t is multiplied with e raised to minus st minus in the second term. Even the second term is multiplied with e raised to minus st. The second term being e raised to minus of a plus j omega t is multiplied with e raised to minus st, and the whole term is integrated with respect to t, which is limits of integration being 0 to infinity. What happens next is, going ahead, x of s will be equal to 1 upon 2j, no change in that. Guys, exponential and negative and t also can be taken out as common from all the terms, right? Exponential is taken out as common, minus from this one, so we have positive over here. If this negative is taken out, we are left with a minus j omega, it's a minus j omega, and t from both the terms, t over here, t from both terms, minus in the same way exponential from these two terms, negative also, and t also comes out. We are left with s plus a plus j omega over here, and t also over here. And still I didn't forget about the integration. Here comes the integration, limits being 0 to infinity and integration being with respect to t. Okay, so here watch carefully, it's similar to the integration e raised to ax dx, and you may have an idea from your previous grades. This will be, in this case it's with respect to t, and so this will be the variable and this will be the constant, so this has to come down in integration. Like for example, like going ahead, x of s will be nothing to do with e raised to 1 upon 2j, sorry, and when this is integrated in the numerator, it is e raised to minus of s plus a minus j omega t, and this comes down in the denominator because this is the variable and this is the constant, that comes down in the denominator, e power ax dx, similar to integral e power x dx. In this case, this is the constant and that comes down in the denominator, negative continues, and even in this term e raised to this as it is, and this comes down in the denominator after integration. Here the whole term, leaving the t as a variable, that is left over, and the whole term being treated as a constant, that comes that appears in the denominator like this. We have negation over here, the same negation, don't forget this is from the equation, even this is also from this equation, this negation, and these are the lower and upper limits, 0 being the lower limit and infinity being the upper limits. So going ahead, recollecting the previous equation for convenience, once again I need to explain what is happening. So this was the previous expression, 1 upon 2j as it is. Okay guys, the limits of integration being 0 to infinity, and here we have to plug in the upper limit and lower limit. So it continues, x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j, so nothing to do with the denominators of the both terms. Here we have term 1 and term 2, this minus this, so these limits are plugged in to t, so nothing to do with the denominators. So both the first term, its denominator as it is, and please hold on and watch carefully over here. We need to plug in t equal to infinity and t equal to 0 being the upper and lower limits respectively. When plugging in the upper limit, the resultant is here e raised to minus the whole term, this whole term is multiplied with the upper limit infinity minus the lower limit, the same term e raised to minus of s plus a minus j omega into the lower limit 0. This whole equation is for the first term over here, this one. Continuous, minus of nothing to do with the denominator in this case at this point, so denominator appears as it is. Plugging in the upper limit for this term, okay, it's like e raised to minus of s plus a plus j omega into infinity in place of t minus its lower limit. Plugging in the lower limit, e raised to minus of s plus a plus j omega as it is into t, that will be into 0, the lower limit. Okay, continuing, and watch carefully, that value which is encircled in this red box will be minus infinity, and going ahead, this in the purple color will be 0. Everything, the entire term is multiplied with 0, and that will be 0. Even this will be minus infinity, even this will be, and this will be 0. I repeat, this leads to minus infinity, this leads to 0, even this becomes minus infinity, and this becomes 0. And what happens is exponential e raised to minus infinity, that will be 0. So this term, we don't have this term anymore. Why? Because e raised to minus infinity will be 0, and even this term also gets cancelled because e raised to minus infinity is a 0. Going ahead, x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j isn't cancelled yet, 1 upon 2j, and nothing to do with the denominator, so it appears as it is. In the denominator, guys, look carefully, we have this negative and e raised to 0, that will be this minus as it is, and e raised to 0, that will be minus 1. Nothing to do with the denominator, the second term also, so both the denominators appear as it is. In the numerator of the first term, this term is cancelled because it's e raised to minus infinity, we don't have that anymore. Minus e raised to minus 0, that will be 1, no, totally minus 1, it's like this. Even in from the second term, this gets cancelled, the upper limit term gets cancelled, we are left with minus 1, like this. This is what we have after substituting the upper and lower limits and cancellation. Can you see we have a negative in the numerator and denominator? I'm talking about these negative gets cancelled over here. Sorry, this is the negative over here, and here we have negative over here, guys, we have negative over here. This negative gets cancelled, and even the second negative, even that gets cancelled. See, even this negative gets cancelled. Finally we have this expression. Okay, so going ahead, what we have is x of s. This is the equation, the previous equation recollected for convenience. What happens is here is x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j as it is, and simplifying this one, taking out LCM and multiplying, etc, etc. Taking out the LCM, both the denominators are multiplied over here, right? Watch carefully, and there is a small rearrangement. This s plus a, the real terms, is written as a single term, s plus a in the brackets minus j omega. We have reason for this, I'll tell you. The denominators are multiplied over here, and cross multiplying this one, the numerators will be s plus a plus j omega from this term, and minus s plus a minus j omega from this term. So this is one, that first term is from the left side, and this what these terms existence comes into existence. Okay, so further going ahead, x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j, and here watch carefully, in the denominator we have s plus a minus j, a minus b into a plus b. Watch carefully, a, this whole term, a minus b into a plus b. This is what so it leads to a square minus b square, like this one. And in the denominator, all these terms as it is, this negative is multiplied to all these terms. The resultant will be s plus a plus j omega, and this negative is multiplied inside this one, that results in minus s minus of a, minus into minus plus j omega. So watch carefully once again. In the numerator there are some complements here, plus s over here and minus s, that gets cancelled. And also we have plus a and also minus a over here, so these terms gets cancelled. And another important point to be remembered is, guys, remember, come down to the denominator, we have minus j whole square. We have minus j whole square, the square is applicable to j square, that will be resulting in minus 1, and so the transformation is this. And remember, this negative and this negative are to be multiplied, and cancelling out, removing all the terms which are to be cancelled in the numerator, we have x of s is equal to 1 upon 2j and s plus a whole square, and multiplying these two, this negative and this negative, that results in positive omega square, which is in the denominator. And in the numerator we have, cancelling all the terms, we will be left with plus j omega, that results in 2j omega in the numerator. And 2j in the numerator here and 2j in the denominator are common, so that can be cancelled, that doesn't exist anymore, and cancelled. This is my final answer for the Laplace transform of a given x of t, which is this one. Recollecting it, the Laplace transform of e raised to minus at sine omega t u of t leads to omega upon s plus a whole square plus omega square. In this point, I would like to mention that, considering the reverse of this one, inverse of this one, so inverse Laplace transform of omega upon s plus a whole square plus omega square would lead to go back to e raised to minus at omega t sine omega t u of t. It's a important Laplace transform conversion. A lot of applications with this one, you come across this in many topics. This has to be remembered, it's an important Laplace transform pair. This is all for this video. Stay home, stay safe. If you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel Ushendra's Engineering Tutorials for more updates. Thank you so much.